Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be reviewing Action Comics number 408, The Hero Superman Doomed to Die. Um, yeah, so let me take this out of the bag first before I actually start reviewing. But yeah, this contains 3 stories, two for Superman and 1 for Atom Man. So yeah. Before I actually start this review, for those who haven't read this for whatever reason and are actually gonna read this sometime in the future, who want to read this sometime in the future, again, Action Comics 408, the hero Superman doomed to die plus the Atom's Phantom Double. Yeah. For those who haven't read it, as I said before, and are wanting to read it, I recommend you stop this video, read this issue or stories, which also, the the Atom's Phantom Double, Hero Superman Doomed to Die, and Super X, what's the third Superman's third secret identity. So yeah, for those who are wanting to read any of those 3 issues or whatever, not issues, but storylines, I guess, plots, and haven't yet, or just want to read the whole issue, I recommend you stop as before. Stop the video, get it somehow, and then come back and watch this video. So yeah, because there may be spoilers. So yeah, 10 seconds as usual, starting now. So yeah, that's actually more than 10 seconds. But whatever. So for those who still haven't left and are actually meaning to read this issue or whatever, don't comment down in the comments below or be messaging me that I never gave you a fair warning, because I did. So there are 3. So before I actually begin, there are 3 stories in this. The first one, the hero Superman Doomed to Die, which is the first story. The second one is the shocking secret of Super X, and the last one is the Atom's Phantom Double. So yeah, as usual, quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then the rate. So in the first story, you have Superman, who is trying to save this one astronaut before he dies, because the astronaut's spacecraft stopped halfway. Every time he tries to go into space, he can't, and he turns back because his superpowers start to weaken. Eventually, after many citizens of Metropolis, comment on this and say, why are you doing this and whatever, how dare you, you're not being honorable, as you mentioned, and all that BS. He eventually just says that if I can't, I'll go to space, just not with my superpowers. And he builds a rocket ship. He puts on a spacesuit and brings oxygen tanks and the whole everything. When he actually does reach space, it turns out that the astronaut he is saving, or was supposed to save or whatever, is stuck in this vortex that has made him evolve for like at least 4 million years into the future, if that makes sense. He's trying to save this astronaut, but when he saves him, the astronaut turns into a caveman, so he has to re-evolve him up until current date. So yeah, the second story arc, The Secret of Super X, basically, in that story issue, whatever, Superman takes up a third identity called Super X, and that is because when he was helping one of his professors up in college, he was making some lethal bacteria, I guess is what you could call it. He was supposed to take it up to space, but the jar he was taking it in breaks, and he basically sucks in all the bacteria, since he won't be harmed that much. But the bacteria is infectious and could could have caused an epidemic, so he wears this special suit and calls himself Super X. He hides his Superman suit inside one of his textbooks, and and his roommate accidentally lends the textbook, which had the suit, to another friend. He eventually finds out and takes the textbooks back and erases her memory with one of the other bacteria that was in the lab, because the bacteria they're trying to do was good bacteria such as amnesia bacteria, sleep-inducing bacteria, fever-breaking bacteria, and pain-killing bacteria. So he uses the amnesia bacteria to make her forget she found the suit in the book, and that's it. And in the last one, and honestly, this is actually the story I preferred the most out of these three. Um, the Atom's Phantom Double. That one was about is that Phantom was not Phantom. The Atom was doing some research, and there's an explosion, and a second Atom, which is a Phantom, comes out, and yeah, as the real Atom is trying to take over some criminals, beat them up and all that. The Phantom Atom shows up with this ring that says that if what he wants goes right, they'll switch bodies, and then the Phantom Atom will turn into Atom, and Atom will turn into Phantom Atom, if that makes sense. Basically, they'll switch places, and then whoever's the Phantom Atom at the end will die. Eventually, Phantom Atom does lose and die, and with some pretty cool action sequences there in the middle. So yeah. So this, first off, I want to say that this issue, in condition-wise, sucks. The condition sucks. I mean, I don't know if you can see, but there's just bends and cracks, and the spines rolled up and everything. There's even pieces here missing. I mean, I actually didn't pay for this book. I got it more for like one of those deals at a Comic Con, buy four get one free type of things. And it was buy like 4 from like the $5 bins. Which I eventually got the guy to haggle with the guy. I eventually got it for maybe half it, so I got 4, so $10. Because I mean, some of the other books I got there were, I mean, they're in nicer condition than this, but they weren't still that very good condition. I mean, the paper was yellow and had a few issues, but not as bad as this. So I got it half price, but whatever. So the guy said you could pick another comic book. So I was searching up. He's like, wait, nah, we have to pick from this section. It was just really these comic books that were in terrible condition. Random, single issue comic books are in random, terrible condition, I have to say. And honestly, this one was actually looked like it was in the best condition in my opinion. So whatever, I just got this one free, so didn't really lose any money. So I'm happy on that. But forget that. Yeah. So yeah, back to the actual review. The plot for the first Superman, the hero's Superman doomed to die. It was good. It was decent, but it did have something left to be desired, and it was lackluster at times. So I really didn't like that. The writing was iffy, and it really just left something to be desired. Super X, that was an interesting aspect of Superman, and that one also did actually have something left to be desired. The writing was better than Hero Superman Doomed to Die, but the secret of Super X, I believe it was called, also had its problems. I mean, there's some images here and there that could have been drawn a bit better, in my opinion, a bit more polished up. But you still, through the Super X character, you still see Superman, so whatever. And then the last one, the Atom's Phantom Double, that was my favorite out of the 3 storylines that were in this comic book. That one was well done. The writing was decent, and The artwork for all three of them were decent, were good. In the second one, the Super X, that one did have a few issues with the artwork, but whatever. Um, I did like the way they portrayed the Phantom Atom, so that is a bonus. Um, the Atom, I really haven't read much of him, so and to actually read one of his storylines or story arcs or whatever, it is pretty cool, pretty interesting. I do want to read a bit more on the Atom, so yeah. There were some things in all three that felt kind of off. But for the most part, they were really decent. It's all I could really say. So yeah, on a rate from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent. Despite the fact that I enjoyed the Adams Phantom double, there were a lot of problems with two other Superman stories in this issue, and if I want to rate the whole issue, I need to take everything into consideration. So yeah. So the rate I give this issue, I know scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. The rate I give this on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I'd honestly have to give it a 5.75. The two Superman stories did have something left to be desired, and they were kind of iffy. They were just a bit off and out there. So whatever. But the Phantom one, that the Phantom Atom story arc was pretty cool to see. I did enjoy that. There are other things to enjoy from the two Superman issues or story arcs or whatever. So whatever. Still, it was somewhat. It's a little less decent, but whatever. It is a pretty decent book in my opinion. So yeah, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do comic book reviews, graphic novel reviews. I review TV shows and I also review movies. So definitely stay tuned for that. Besides that, comment down below on your thoughts on this issue if you've read it. And out of the three, which one did you prefer? And yeah, and that's basically it for this video. And besides that, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. Subscribe, comment down below, and that's basically it. This is Daniel Mart signing off.